Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. Yeah, this is the reaction. We had to build this up like a lot. The videos are kind of like delayed because I had some technical issues, and my last heavyweight video was not as planned. I just found out when I uploaded the video, but we're not on that. Guess what? Heavyweight boxing match. Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. Riyadh Season is giving people the fight that they want to see. Is giving the people the fights that they want to see. And guess what? It is happening. Oh, let's say March 9th, but I just recently watched Francis Ngannou's interview with Errol Hawani. And the fight is supposedly Friday. I think Friday at night, and then the main event is gonna take part ninth, like on the 9th midnight. And before we get into everything, I'm just gonna build up how I found out about the fights, and I'm just gonna build up about how my thought process was over everything. Now let's get back to everything. This whole thing episode. Remember that. So it was a couple of days late. It was a couple of days ago. I found out that Francis Ngannou is going to be fighting Anthony Joshua. I see this post. It was like 13 minutes. It was like 13 minutes ago. And then I commented and I was like, "Don't fucking play with me." I said, "Don't fucking play with me." And then obviously, fast forward one day later, the day after that, I found out that Errol Hawani just announced the fight. Teki Al-Sheikh, or whatever his excellency's name is, Errol Hawani confirmed it. He was told that he can break down. He can break the fight, and it is happening. And my first thought process was this fight was supposed to be happening independently. Two African guys, hashtag African power. These two guys were supposed to do this fight independently. What am I talking about? Anthony Joshua was not supposed to do this fight with Eddie Hearn. Why? Because this fight is big. This fight is so much bigger than promoters. It's so much bigger than the money that the promoters are gonna make. Should be going to both fighters, Francis Ngannou and Anthony Joshua. These two guys leave it all out in the ring. And they both got chin for days. And I'm telling you right now, that was my first thought process when I was thinking about the fight. That, oh shit, it is really happening. And it is much sooner than I expected. Because you can't just believe everything you can't just believe everything you see in the internet. And I was like, okay, Francis Ngannou is fighting Anthony Joshua. And then I started going through the comments. And then you see a lot of comments. Oh, Francis Ngannou is gonna get knocked out. Oh, Francis Ngannou is gonna get knocked out. Francis Ngannou is gonna get schooled. And I was thinking to myself, these people must have not seen Francis Ngannou. These people must not have seen Francis Ngannou, or they just haters. Cause when you're Francis Ngannou, you have this beautiful story. You came from nowhere, out of nowhere. Now you're chasing millions in boxing, and in 2 fights, you're about to make 20 million plus. You're about to make 20 million plus, and a lot of recessives are not gonna like that. You got this You got this unexperienced fighter that is transitioning into boxing, and everybody's looking at him like he can box. His first boxing fight was a success. His first boxing fight, he arguably won the fight. He arguably won the fight against one of the best heavyweight boxers in the world, one of the best skilled heavyweight boxers in the world. And people are making excuses that Tyson Fury did not perform well. Tyson Fury did this and that, when it was Francis. It was Francis Ngannou who actually took one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time, and Tyson Fury, out of the game, out of his game plan. Now, we move on to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, after losing to Alexander Usyk, he was mentally defeated after that fight, but he bounced back like a champ does. He wins. He fucking wins 3 fights in a row, and all of those fights he looked great, and he looked amazing. All those 3 fights, especially his last fight, he has proved that he is getting better. He is getting better, and when he's getting better, Francis Ngannou has a possibility to be schooled, but we are talking about Francis Ngannou, who has a chin for days. But we're not on that. We are talking about Anthony Joshua. He looks good. His last fight, he dominates the guy. And TKO's the guy who fought Tyson Fury and gave Tyson Fury one of his toughest fights in his whole career, in his whole boxing career. And what happens? And Anthony Joshua just schools the man as if he's never boxed before. But obviously, the man has a lot of skills. The man poses a lot of threat that he is capable of beating Francis Ngannou easily. He is capable of beating Francis Ngannou easily. But we know Francis Ngannou, you cannot beat Francis Ngannou easily. We saw against Cyril Gane. We saw against Tyson Fury, and we saw again against Stipe Miocic in MMA. All his past fights, he looked amazing. All his past fights, he's looking to improve. He is hungry. He's getting better. But Anthony Joshua is more experienced. He has learned a lot from that Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury fight. He saw a lot of things that he can capitalize on. He saw a lot, and I can guarantee you that. Don't be surprised if Anthony Joshua rocks Francis Ngannou, or potentially knocks him down. Why am I saying this? Cause Anthony Joshua, AJ, is gonna be more prepared than Tyson Fury was ever prepared. Cause Tyson Fury didn't know what to expect in terms of the boxing, and Francis Ngannou surprised him. And guess what? Anthony Joshua is not going to be surprised by anything Francis Ngannou is going to throw at him, because Francis Ngannou is getting better. He's going to be hungry, but AJ is going to be one of his most Anthony Joshua is going to be one of his toughest fights in boxing, period. That is what is going to happen. This is the breakdown. Now remember, take care of your fucking body, because it's the only place that you live in. Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. The date is March 9th. 2 months from now. First we're gonna get Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury, and then we're gonna move on to the next big fight, Francis Ngannou versus AJ in boxing. Boxing is making a lot of big moves, and some organizations are in trouble, man. Because this guy who just came from MMA is making big moves and he's gonna pull a lot of people to watch him fight, cause because he's making big moves. He's proving that he decided to chase his dreams, and his dreams was to box. This young kid from Africa who wanted to box, one of the best boxers in the world. Guess what? His dreams coming true, and this is where we close everything off. This is the whole thing episode. Take care of your fucking body, cause it's the only place that you live in. We out. Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. Yeah, this is the reaction. We had to build this up like a lot. The videos are kind of like delayed because I had some technical issues.